I don't trust the guy.
Pulp Fiction finally came out on video this week, an event long delayed by the fact that the one-of-a-kind picture was still doing business in theaters. Director Quentin Tarantino has moved on to new projects, of course. He's currently starring in a movie he wrote called From Dusk Till Dawn, which appears to be about two bank robbers who wind up in a biker bar filled with vampires. Enough said. The director is another prodigy, Robert Rodriguez, who made the ultra-low-budget El Mariachi and then remade it with bigger bucks as the recently released Desperado. ER star George Clooney is also in the cast, and Juliette Honan put the bite on all three of them during a recent set visit.
It's an exploitation movie. It's a head-banging drive-in movie.
Friday the 13th meets The Getaway.
It's got a lot of heart. It's got a lot of hearts laying all over the floor.
From Dusk Till Dawn is Quentin Tarantino's fifth screenplay to be produced, and while he may be adequately paid as executive producer and actor in the movie, he actually sold the script 4 years ago for a mere $1,500.
It was the first script I was paid to write. I met the guys who are now the makeup effects guys on the movie. They wanted to do a horror film, and then actually the deal with them I had was, since they were a makeup effects team, I knew I was going to make Reservoir Dogs at some point. So I said, okay, I'll write the script for this much money, but you got to do the makeup effects for this movie I'm going to make someday for free. That $1,500 got me going on my career.
Or should that be careers? Over the past 6 months, Tarantino has turned his attention to acting, and among other cameos, played a small part in Rodriguez's current movie, Desperado.
The audience just goes crazy when he comes in. He has a great scene and then he dies immediately. I suggested he should really be in this movie, and he was completely interested in playing one of the leads. And he knew I wouldn't leave him twisting in the wind, and I would actually make sure he came off good and be there to make sure you gave him his hero shots and all that stuff.
Once Tarantino was cast as Richie, one of two bank-robbing brothers whose murdering escapades leads them to a vampire-infested bar, Rodriguez was faced with a casting challenge.
We were having such a hard time finding somebody to play the brother to Quentin, because I wanted to be someone who could actually look like he could be his brother, yet be a great actor.
George was like on the cover of Us magazine or something, and Robert's like, hey, we should cast this guy. He looks like Quentin.
Did you decide together this was the hair you were going to have?
I was doing the episode of ER. You got your hair cut for that episode.
Right.
Which was this cut, basically.
Right.
All right, and I just had it in my mind that I just wanted to wear my hair like Burt Reynolds in Deliverance. All right, which is like that.
Styling aside, they had little trouble casting the other major characters, including Tarantino's staple Harvey Keitel and Oscar nominee Juliette Lewis.
Her agents had given her the script, and she called me up, and she was just like, hi Quentin, I read your script, and I think it's really cool. I'd be really interested in playing the part of Kay, And I was like, what? Like, you're too good an actress for this part. This part is not worthy of somebody of your ability. And I was like, right when I was rewriting it. So like, I felt an obligation to make the character better, so it would be worth her time to show up.
And in typical Tarantino fashion, he thinks they'll have even less trouble getting an audience to show up.
It's a big scale horror film. But the thing is, most big scale horror films suck, because if they're like a big production, then they're like, well, we can't make it really 100% for the horror film crowd. We've got to, make it for everybody. Right. All right, and they just kind of, try to, so it ends up, most of them end up being not one thing or the other. And this is actually a horror film made for horror film fans.
As they all should be. Vampire flicks are in one of their periodic vogues at the moment. David Lynch recently launched the pseudo-arty Nadja. Abel Ferrara has one called The Addiction, and even Eddie Murphy will be slipping into a set of fangs in the upcoming horror comedy A Vampire in Brooklyn. Scariest of all, quite possibly, may be a Mel Brooks entry called Dracula, Dead and Loving It. Be very afraid. As for the Tarantino Rodriguez opus From Dusk Till Dawn, it opens on December 22nd, a Christmas pick for trolls. And Tarantino also directs and appears in the anthology film 4 Rooms, due out on October 6th.